Hello, I'm Katie Gates, and thank you for joining me here today on The Whole Agenda. Today, I want to discuss the boss that no one wants to have. Ooh, who is this boss? Well, hint, hint, I'm seeing it all over social media, on every social platform possible. It has something to do with the mind, our mentality, and a lot of people are talking very openly about this boss as if they have surrendered to the boss's control. That is something that nobody wants to do. I know I don't want to do it, you don't want to do it, and you don't want your other loved ones doing it as well. The boss that I'm speaking about is anxiety. No, I know you're saying I've heard all of this before. And yes, we have heard a lot about anxiety. But I often say that anxiety is the fear of worrying about what other people are going to think about you. You probably never heard that one before. A lot of today's anxiety, aside from the spiritual attacks, because you all know that I am a very strong believer in God and I know what the word tells us about anxiety, but a lot of anxiety today is the fear of being judged, the fear of being judged by another human being. Think about that for a minute. The fear of being judged by people who those suffering with anxiety look at as having more control than they do. What if I make this mistake? What if I say that, say this and they don't like it? What if they don't like me? What if I don't fit in? Or, what if this happens or that happens and it hasn't even happened yet? It's the fear of future things that may or may not come. So a lot of anxiety is future thinking, yet we're here in the present. And that's why often we'll hear the term live in the present moment. That really should resonate with a lot of people that are suffering with anxiety. Like I said, a lot of the anxiety is future thinking, future thoughts. What if? That's how you know it's future, because it has not happened yet if we're thinking, what if? What if this happens? What if that happens? What if this goes wrong? What if I don't make it? What if I fail? What if my dreams don't come true? What if tells us that it's future thoughts way over there somewhere. And yet we're here in the present moment. That's why living in the present moment is so critical. Because when we step outside of the present and put our mind in the future, especially when we're having negative thoughts, not positive ones, it's good to think, in a positive way for our future outlook. I'm not saying that, but when we put ourselves in the future, our minds in the future, and we start having negative thoughts, it's detrimental to our present moments. Does that make sense? I hope I'm making sense. So anxiety for many is the fear of being judged by others. And a lot of that stems from not being secure in who you are. Because if we were secure in who we are, we wouldn't be worrying about what other people are going to think about us. Now, I'm not saying that's all anxiety. No, I faced anxiety. I used to have a fear of speaking. I did it before. I'll share a short story with you all. I did it before. I used to love to get up and speak in front of people. I would just take these deep breaths because anxiety would try and creep in. What if you mess up? Or what if you fumble your words? Or, what if they don't like what you're saying? All of these normal thoughts, they're very relatable to you if you face anxiety when it comes to public speaking or doing anything publicly where other people are going to be watching you. It's like the eyes are on you, right? I used to love to do it. There was a challenge for me. And I was like, okay, this is a challenge that I really want to conquer. Well, I happened to die. I've died twice. I don't know if you all know that story, but I happened to die. And in the midst of dying, when I came back to life, They still don't know how that happened today, but I know whenever I came back to life, I did not know that I would have an extreme fear of speaking. I I fell and hit my head, this side of my head, on a cement floor. So there was some damage somewhere, lots of pain, and oh, it was horrible. I didn't know that I had developed an extreme fear of speaking until I was asked to do it. And oh my gosh, I'm asking myself, what is wrong? What has happened? Anyway, I had developed an extreme case of anxiety. I mean, sweaty palms. I'm sweating, and I don't sweat easily. I was so scared. So I've been there and done that. I was worried about what are they going to think about me? What if I mess up, and what if I'm saying something they don't like, or something that they can't comprehend? All of these future thoughts that hadn't even happened yet were things that were hindering my progress to go forward and deliver a vibrant message like I knew that I could. So a lot of us have dealt with that. So I'm not just talking off the top of my head. It's something that I've dealt with. Now, when it comes to other forms of anxiety, like I mentioned earlier, that spiritual side of anxiety, if you are not a believer in God, it may be difficult for you to accept that there's a spirit behind your anxiety. A lot of people will say, well, man, that is far too deep for me. Let me click off this video. And if so, that tells me that maybe we need to develop a stronger relationship with God, or start doing some more research on who God is. If you're not a believer, I challenge you to start doing some more research on who God is. Listen to the word of God. You don't have to read it. You can listen to it. When it comes to anxiety on that aspect, I believe in those forms of crippling anxiety, the ones that grip you so much to where you can't handle daily life, or we can't handle daily life because you're not alone. There's millions of people facing this exact problem. You have a lot of people who are so filled with anxious thoughts to where they can't step outside, or they can't go through their day without medicating themselves, or they have such a crippling fear that something is going to happen to where they are succumbing to the spirit or the energy of anxiety. And that's a whole different video there, which I am going to do a video on that. I actually did one in the past. I'm going to do a video on that again because it's a serious issue. It is taking the nation by storm, and it's hindering a lot of vibrant and beautiful progress. So if you are one of those who are suffering with anxiety, whether it be the form of anxiety that, when it comes to public speaking, or when it comes to going for something that you never find yourself going for. So if you have developed the courage to go for something, and then that anxiety creeps in, asking, saying things, well, you don't really want to do this, do you? Or what if this happened? Or what are they going to think over there? What if you mess up? And what if it's something that you're going for, but you really don't want to do it? And later you find out, man, I should not have did this. Or what if there are a lot of other people going for the same position that you're going for? Or what if they give you the position and you can't meet all of their requirements? What if all of these things happen and it turns out you're not the person that you thought you were? Those are things that anxiety tells us as people. What if this happens? What if that happens? And, they're not going to like you if you step out and, try to reach those goals and dreams and all of those things. That's how anxiety cripples us as human beings. That's why I said it's the boss no one wants to have, because instead of us bossing it, it begins to boss us. So much so to where a lot of people don't even recognize that they're being controlled by anxiety, the energy of anxiety. So I challenge you today, if you find yourself questioning this or having those what if moments far too often, because let's be real, we all have them. We're human. None of us are perfect. We all have a what if moment every now and again. But if you find yourself having those what if moments all the time, especially when you're willing to step outside of your comfort zone and they're always there, check yourself. Check the boss. Is it you? Or are you allowing anxiety to be your boss? Because it does. It controls a lot of people. A lot of people that should be further than where they are not because of anxiety. A lot of people are facing anxiety behind closed doors, fearful of letting others know because they're so afraid of what are they going to think about me? I'm supposed to be the strong one. I'm supposed to be the one everybody can run to and cry on or, confide in. So I gotta look strong all the time, because if I don't, what are they going to think about me? You're not the only one facing anxiety, and you should never face it alone, because when you do, or when we do, we find ourselves in much worse situations. Things tend to fall apart. The world comes crumbling down because anxiety has isolated you or isolated us. And once that happens, it's very dangerous. It's very, very dangerous to break free of isolated anxiety. So if you're facing any form of anxiety, speak up. Let somebody you trust know. Somebody that you know who has your best interest at heart, let them know. Let them walk with you. Let them help you. Let them be there for you, because you're not the only one. So that's what anxiety is. It really is, for a lot of people, the fear or consuming fear of what other people are going to think about them. Just know who you are. We are all humans. We are all created by the same God. He created us all. We're all humans. So don't give another human power over you. Be you. Be who you are. Be the greatness that you've been created to be, and get control of that anxiety. If you are facing anxiety, please, please, please drop me a message. Let me know. I would love to reach out, help you, send you some links that could help you. We've all been there, done that. A lot of people are still doing that. So just know that you are not alone. You are loved. And I am just wishing you all the best. Once again, I'm Katie Gates. Thank you so much for joining me here on The Whole Agenda. And until next time, I love you.